Maine Democrat who barred Trump from ballot met with Biden twice, called Electoral College white supremacy. This decision from Maine is even more egregious than Colorado's, Katie Cherkasky video. This decision from Maine is even more egregious than Colorado's, Katie Cherkasky. Former federal prosecutor Katie Cherkasky discusses Maine's choice to disqualify former President Trump from the 2024 ballot, on Your World. The Maine official who moved to disqualify former President Donald Trump from the state's 2024 Republican primary ballot on Thursday visited the White House this year to meet with President Biden and previously referred to the Electoral College as a relic of white supremacy. On two separate occasions this year, once in March and another time in June, Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, a Democrat, was invited to the White House, according to White House visitor logs. Bellows' first trip came after she was invited to attend a Women's History Month event held on March 22 at the White House, where she met with Biden and snapped a photo with him. Bellows took to social media to share the photo she took with Biden at the March event and described the amazing experience she had meeting the president. Maine GOP state lawmaker moves to impeach state secretary over Trump ballot removal. Birthday jaunt to D.C. for a Women's History Month event at the White House yesterday and walking around today, she added in a post to Facebook at the time. According to the Washington Free Beacon, the initial outlet to report on Bellows' trips to the White House. Bellows' March trip to the White House was also promoted by the Secretary of State's office in a press release earlier this year, in which she said it was an honor to join Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and other female leaders from across the country. It was an honor to join President Biden, Vice President Harris and amazing female leaders from around the country to celebrate Women's History Month at the White House yesterday, Bellows said at the time. I hope to someday see the last of the firsts like myself, but as we continue to see these groundbreaking leaders in new positions of power, I look forward to celebrating them as part of our nation's history. Bellows' second trip came on June 6, when she traveled to the White House with more than a dozen others to meet with Justin Vail, a special assistant to Biden. That trip, according to social media posts by others who made the journey with Bellows, appears to have been organized by Issue 1 Reform, which describes itself as the leading cross-partisan political reform group in D.C. that works to unite Republicans, Democrats, and independents in the movement to fix our broken political system and build an inclusive democracy that works for everyone. Responding to a June 8 post to X from Dustin Charney, a Democrat who made the trip and serves as the Onondaga County Elections Commissioner and the Democratic Caucus Chair of the New York State Elections Commissioner Association, Bellows wrote, "Yes. That was such a powerful part of our trip to D.C. Democrats, Republicans, and nonpartisan elections officials united on issues of protecting election workers and finding critical election infrastructure." Bellows, who represented Maine's 14th district in the state Senate for roughly 4 years, has served as the Secretary of State for Maine since 2021. Shortly after taking office, Bellows penned an op-ed for a progressive platform known as the Democracy Docket. In her writing, titled "Voting Rights for Our Neighbors Matter as Much as Our Own," Bellows touted her efforts to make voting more accessible and said she sought the position of Secretary of State in Maine because she was truly frightened for our democracy following the 2020 presidential election. House Democrat from Maine rips state's decision to take Trump off ballot. Bellows also took aim at the Electoral College in her column, claiming it is the relic of white supremacy that prevents voters from being represented fairly. In her ruling to disqualify Trump from the state's 2024 ballot, Bellows cited Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution that bars people who have engaged in insurrection from running for elected office without two-thirds congressional approval. The clause was originally meant to bar former Confederate soldiers and officers from holding positions in the U.S. government or military. It was also referenced by Colorado's highest court in a 4-3 ruling last week, similarly barring Trump from that state's primary ballot. The decision was challenged by the Colorado GOP, setting up a battle before the U.S. Supreme Court. Bellows' affection for Biden and Harris and disdain for Trump is no secret. In an October 2020 post to social media, Bellows said she was excited to vote for Biden and Harris. Before that, in October 2020, Bellows questioned on social media whether the obsession with 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was because people just can't deal with the magnitude of fears of what Trump presidency brings.